right, it's Hot 97. Number one for hip hop is TT Torrez. My special guest is here, Dizzy Banko. How are you?
How we doing, TT?
Shout out to Drewski. Me and him was just talking, and he's like, "Yeah, I play his record all the time. Play like every night."
Yeah, I got a new record out, with, big deal with Melly off my project, so things are just moving.
It's interesting because I know you for producing.
Yeah.
Not for rapping, but you are rapping. So you have to come back and do our 4 minutes of fire.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Can we do it? That's the producer right there. Yeah.
Oh, what we doing? You said we met before, right? So here we are. We're in a different limelight now.
So what we doing? We're in a different limelight. We coming back doing 4 minutes of fire. Let him spit some joints.
We're in a different limelight now.
And I also heard you produce the Lola Brooke song.
Yes, I
How did that come about? And did you think it was going to be as big as it is right now?
Yes, if I was to better, like, at that moment and knew that it would become to this point, then it was just like I'd be, like, rich right now. Just because that mindset back then, it was like the way I made it and then the way I made the connection of calling her is like, yo, this is it.
That's the one.
Sometimes people would, be like,
now, have you always been her longtime producer, or you just knew that belonged to her?
So me and Lo worked for like about 4 years, if I say.
Okay.
I met her at Rolling Loud 2 years prior to when she went on Rolling Loud. So I felt when we went to Rolling Loud that time, it was just like that clash moment. Because like, yo, I met you 2 years ago and we ain't have no records. Now we are here Rolling Loud, boom.
Yeah.
So now it's just like her producer, Reefa, shout out to Reefa, he was already in front. So it's just like, for me, I just talked to him the other day too, like, yo, bro, like, for me to tap into Lola was you, because it's just her sound and her energy. So it was just like me just coming in, loving the art, what she does, just adding on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not about how people make it seem as if I started the sound. Like, no, she was already great. It's just adding on fire with fire. It's just, how that
making
go.
that magic go.
Exactly.
And she's so tiny. Did you think, like, that big voice coming out, like, huh? I'm like, dang, like, she just...
So watching her progress, like watching her freestyles and everything, is like, you could tell when somebody's finding their sound, where it's just like, because people be like, yo, she was never on that type of time. But when you get comfortable, you just, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like interviews. Like, at first you're like, okay, question, boom. And then next you're like, I got it. I'm TT Torrez.
I know
you know what I'm saying?
I know how to do this. Yeah.
So that's where she's at, and she's going to just flow.
Yeah.
Because she's comfortable. That's how I feel now.
And she has a good guy. Sav is really good at what he does. And he always keeps his ear to the street. So he knows how to keep that edge.
I feel anybody enhancing something is great.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's adding, again, fire with fire.
Yeah. It's interesting because a lot of people have said to me that I needed to tap in with you. Shout out to Abe, who's at Monarch, but who used to be at E1.
Right.
Whenever I need producers, because artists hit me all the time, like asking me about producers, and he has mentioned your name to me a few times, and I'm surprised we've never connected before.
God timing.
Yeah, because your name has always come up to me, like, yo, he's cooking up. He's one of the guys in New York that has that sound. You know what I'm saying? So I'm so glad that we're connecting today.
Yeah, and like I said, it's over time, we get frustrated building up, and it's like I caught the humble stage of myself where it's like, it's all about patience. Once you master the patient level, it's like everything else is great.
No, I tell people all the time, the art of patience is really a trait that you have to master, because things don't happen overnight.
They don't.
Nobody would have thought me reaching out to Christy for something that had nothing to do with this would then reach back to have you come meet with me, and people had been telling me about you for a very long time. So it's just like the master of like just patience and timing.
For real.
You know what I'm saying?
So people stay around, some people crash out, but we see how they say this, the strongest survive, or
but you gotta trust the process, right?
Yes.
So now people are seeing you more like, yo, this guy's dope. He produces, but now they get to see you as a rap artist, and really putting in that work on that side of the mic.
That side is fun to me. Like, I feel like the thought process is not as deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, people freestyle, they just come in. But me producing so many times and structuring the beats is just like, I feel like I'm the artist. I grasp to them, like, the connection. So it's like, if I'm making a beat and I feel like, oh, this could sound for Lola, it's a reason I'm saying it versus just any beat, just like, okay, yeah, she can go in there. When you got that connection, it's powerful than just throwing anything in the air.
Did you always have a love for music as a kid growing up? Where are you from, by the way?
I'm from the Bronx.
You from the Bronx?
I'm
Oh,
from the
book it
Bronx.
down. Hey,
X in the
okay.
building here. So I'm from the Bronx, and at an early age, I went down south with my family. Everybody's from the Bronx, but they moved down south.
So have I. Yep. I'm
So
from the Bronx, but moved down
Down
south.
south, yeah.
Yes.
So that art of down south culture with the music, I feel like I picked that up, and then like shout out to my cousin, he gave me a program, and I just ran with it, to the point where it's like I had nothing else to do but that.
Where down south did you spend your time?
South Carolina.
Oh, me too. That's so crazy. What part?
So you got Utahville, Cross.
I lived in
Sumter,
Charleston.
Charleston.
Yeah.
Holly Hill.
Holly Hill, South Carolina.
Yeah, see.
I had peoples that lived in Holly Hill, South Carolina, Moncks Corner, South Carolina, Somerville, South Carolina, Goose Creek, South Carolina. So I know all about the Carolinas.
Yeah, that's about.
See, it was meant to be. Me and you were supposed to meet each other. Who would have known? Two people from the Bronx that moved
It's
down
always
south.
that's what I'm saying. It makes sense because if I didn't do my homework in the sense of like checking TT background, it's like, all right, I'd rather meet people. I don't just sit and do that. It's like artists. I don't.
Yeah.
Yo, you heard mommy? Nah, play what you did recently. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear what you did before. I want to where you up to right now. And
Yeah.
see how we enhance that.
Yeah. So you went out to the Grammys for the first time this year. What was that experience like for you? And did you get to cook in the studio while you were there?
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
But I go to Cali on the often time just to reset and do that. So it's like going out that time, it was just like I was just out there. I came back. I'm seeing the Grammys conversation. I'm like, I don't know. So I hit Chrissy. Chrissy said some plays. Boom. We go out there. But again, I've been out there so many times. It's not like it's new to me, but the Grammy part is new because now it's the events,
Yeah.
the carpets, and
Yeah.
all. People with questions. So, but I'm flowing with it, like as if
You're
been
stepping
doing it.
into it. You're
Yeah.
stepping into it. Yeah.
But it was a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
I got to see Dr. Dre.
Wow.
Me and Bus is like this, where we just talk. So it was like being there and talking with him. Certain artists probably like, who's this kid just roaming around? You know what I'm saying?
But you're soaking it all in.
Yeah,
which is
soaking
important.
all in. So when I have my moments, like just to myself, like that fuels me. Where it's like, all right, I know what I'm about to do.
Yeah.
Because it's just like it's the formula in my head. So
Yeah. So if you could say you love one more than the other, what would that be? Or is that just a hard call? Because people always ask me that question too. Like,
As
do
a
you like
producer-
being an executive or do you like the talent?
Producing is more before the artist. For like the artist, that's the question, right? As in which one? But I love both. Where it's like
So
it's
equally,
it's so,
right?
It's so cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm comfortable with it, so it's not like, oh, this is too much.
You know when to fall into producer mode and you know when to fall into talent mode.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know how to navigate between the two. You know when to be the star and you know when to let the artist
just
be
let
the
the
star.
artist. I don't. When you have motion for yourself, that's why I felt with the Grammys, where when people was hitting me like, "Oh, you going to Grammy? You nominated?" It's like, nah, no nomination. I'm going out there just to catch the vibe. Like, but I feel I have that credentials, that power, a name. Where there's times I walk in buildings and people are like, "Oh, I know who you are," and I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? But now I soak that in.
Yeah.
I go outside and now approach my face to situations, and they're like, "Who are you?" And I say my name. They be like, "Oh, you."
Yeah.
So now I'm like, okay.
Right.
I'm really, you know what I'm saying? My work speaks for itself, where I'm not really like, you don't know who I am? You know, people spazzing out, so I'm good now.
So I have to ask, you being from the Bronx, you spending some time down south, who have you like looked up to in terms of artists, career-wise, or just the sound or the way they spit? Like, what are some of your favorite artists?
Well, but my favorite artist, Hove.
Hove, of
So
course.
I feel like Hove have a formula where it's like people I don't think get to like look into. They just, oh, he the artist, boom, boom. It's like he have chess moves that people, if you know how to play chess, it's like you can see it. If you know how to play checkers, you can see it. But I'm a chess player, so I'm seeing exactly how he's maneuvering through these things, even just because I'm young. But between him, Nipsey, Dr. Dre is like my favorite producer, like number one.
Yeah.
Like just everything of him as a whole. And like I said, the Grammys, like that fueled me. Like I just had to listen to every little thing
Yeah.
that he said.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, yo, I'm here. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But these artists I look up to, the Ye's, the Timberlands, like meeting them, I just want to listen. I don't even pictures and none of that stuff. Like I
You just
want
want
to
to soak in the knowledge.
I don't care about none of that stuff. I just want to.
You're a student. You're a student of the game.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes you stand the test of time, because you could have a hit. It could be gone tomorrow, and you're gonna constantly chase that hit. But when you become a student of the game, you learn the art of the game, and then you make music that stand the test of time. Whether it's 5, 10, 20 years, you still here. You know, and Hove and all of these great people that you spoke about, Busta, you know, they're still nostalgic and they stand the test of time. They're respected in the culture. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's important, because you ain't out here, you know, chasing algorithm. You know,
and that's why I feel we connect, because I know there's probably producers or artists like me that's like probably like
frustrated
every minute, yo. Yeah. And with me, it's like, yo, he ain't like Fab would text me like, yo, how you ain't send me a pack yet?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
and why you ain't send Fab a pack?
No, he got a pack, but that's what I'm saying. I see the difference where people will get their numbers or whatever and flood their phone.
Yeah.
I get that. I understand that. But I'm always the person that's like, yo, we're going to go here. All right, I'm going to go this way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and it's okay if I go that way. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like everything that's going on is just
But don't be too laid back, though.
No. I'm not. That's where it catch them off guard. Because they'll think, you know, I had made a post the day I was on my way to the Grammys, and I was like, the caption was like, oh, they thought I wasn't working or something. I said, so mad people hit me, was like, yo, that's crazy. I know you beating them in their head. they don't, you know, you stop posting certain things. You could say things like I said. I got recognition from Hove. They'd be like, all right, where's the picture? Where's this? Where's that? But don't worry about that. Like, if I really do it, it's like, all right, but I'm not.
You're not
this
chasing.
is not for you guys to. This is for me.
Yeah.
Whenever I feel like I want to post a conversation, whenever I want to post a video, that's for me when I want to. Yeah. Just know I'm coming.
And
you know
just know I'm relishing in my moment.
Yeah, this is a moment to take it in and move forward. Yeah. I can't taking the picture and stuff like that. Like I feel like people prey on people's downfalls nowadays. So it's like I never said I was even going to the Grammys at all. Yeah. So when posts was just popping up, pictures was popping up, they're like, I'm on Getty Image now. I see me on a Getty Image. I'm like, yeah, this is crazy. They're swinging in the air now.
Johnny Nunez got it.
They swinging up. So shout out to Johnny Nunez, my camera guy Pete. Like I feel like they be clicking every time. So out there, he's 21. Yeah. So he's catching in the moments. Who's Missy? Who's Tweet? Yeah. He don't even know half of these people. Wow. So it's like now he's learning, and then he's seeing it's like, oh.
And somebody like Johnny Nunez, he's so nice. Like, he will take anybody under his wing and be like, yo, come here, let me show you. Like, he's just a nice guy.
When he's showing me where Johnny's at, I'm like, bro, you know, you're going to be right there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people don't get to connect with certain goats.
Yeah, Johnny's a goat for real.
So he's a goat. He outside.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And he outside.
He outside. So, and I'm a producer that's outside. So it just makes his story even better, where it's like the producer not just laid back. So, like you said. Yeah. I'm never laid back. Yeah. It's just I don't never show what we're doing.
I love it. I love it because sometimes you can't, you know? You got to protect it. You got to protect what you build.
I'm still in L.A. right now.
Yeah. Wow.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Nobody even know you here.
I'm still in L.A. Calls are still ringing. Like, yo, session tonight?
I'm back in New York.
I wish I could just... I don't even say nothing. I'm like, yo, I got a session right here. But I really be having sessions. So it's like...
Crazy.
It is what it is, man.
So when's the project coming out?
So my project is out right now. You have no idea. I'm about to drop a 2.0. Okay. And I feel like a 2.0 will have people even go double back to 1 because it's like, dang, this is mad energy. Yeah. How 1 sound. But then it's just like, okay, we see the, you know, people always
see the growth.
The growth behind it. And I feel like with 2 is really, 2 was made before what's going on right now. Yeah. So it may sound like, oh, he's taking all of this and then making the music. No, I already spoke this before it happened. Wow. So I have a song called You Know, and I was like heading out west with the team, feeling like the Grammy family. Just certain things I was saying, and it's just like, wow, now people are playing the song like, yo, bro, you spoke this before the song could really, like you didn't hear the song, he didn't hear the song, and it's just the fact that I spoke it to myself. and then I'm actually there. So now I
The
could put
power,
the
the
picture.
power of speaking it into
You know what I'm saying?
existence.
Like I'm in the Grammys, I could play the song now, and it's like, oh, he could feel it. So think about how Hov spit.
Yeah.
People be like, yo, he speak expensive, but it's just what he's living. You get what I'm saying? It's like if you feel like if you're an artist right now, you just did your hair, nails, then you're gonna speak crazy like, oh, I just did my.
Yeah, you're gonna speak to
you
how
gonna
you.
talk that
Yeah,
mood.
you're gonna talk because
The
how you
songs
feeling.
and all these songs that come out have a mood feeling. That's why we attach to it.
Yeah.
And me, I have so much different mood swings. I don't know if you didn't know if I did that record with Pop Smoke and,
I didn't know
and
you
TJ.
did that.
But mood swings, even that, like
Yo,
people
that
didn't
record's
think
so good.
nobody knew I did it.
Wait, did you? Wow, that blew me away. I didn't know you did that record.
Yeah,
What else I don't know that you did?
It's a whole lot of records.
Man, shout out to Abe. Abe been telling me about you for years.
I'm one of them like secret like Batman pop up, save the world and dip. It's like, so this song is so good, but who's the producer? You know what I'm saying?
Wait, so was Pop in the studio with you when you did
No, I hate this story, but it's like, it was a session he was supposed to pull up because the artist I was working with, and then he couldn't make it. Boom. The next day he texted me like, yo, ooh, send a pack. So I'm like, dang, I missed the set. Well, he didn't come to the session, but then he texted me the next day. So I sent the pack out. Prior years down, he passed. So it's like,
Yeah.
I had that same feeling with Nipsey. I was supposed to go to LA my first time to meet with him. And Mike and Keys, shout out to Mike and Keys. Now I've got to meet them, but Pop, I wasn't there at the moment. It's like, it's just one of those crazy stories where it's like literally boom, boom, boom. So I was like,
now I have a crazy story too. Before he went to LA, I was supposed to interview him. And I was like, this is around when his album just came back, and he's like, he missed the interview. And I was like, you know what? No worries. So he's like hitting me in my DMs. I was like, oh, my bad. But I was like, nah, I'll get you on the way back from LA. We'll link up on the way back. And then he passed away. It's crazy, right?
When you start thinking about it, it's like, yo,
Yeah.
was it meant to happen?
Yes,
You know.
Crazy. Crazy.
But yeah, it's a whole lot of records out there from like the Dream Dolls, and then I did BabyFace with Tink off of his project.
I love that BabyFace project too, by the way.
So when I see that, and it's like now I'm laid back because I'm watching the reviews of things like, okay, you know what I'm saying? They're like they loving the album. So
yo, you did a record with BabyFace.
It's not normal.
That's not normal.
It's not normal.
That's not normal.
It's not normal. And the way it went is just because he went about another record that everybody and their mother keep asking me about. You know, shout out to Cardi B. But he called me. It's like, yo, I like how you did that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I still haven't heard this song yet. So it's like, it got to be something to that point special that he's calling me about a whole nother song, and he's like, yo, I need
that sound
of just you on my project. So you got to think about the moments I'm in the studio, do rag on, just working. I'm just sitting on the phone, BabyFace, going through how we cooking up this record.
Wow. And shout out to Dream Doll too. That's my girl.
Yes. Shout out to Dream. We gotta get some more records. I got a sneaky record. I don't know what she want to do with it, but I'm gonna see what she want to do with it. But
come on, Dream. I'm always on her
I ain't
neck.
gonna front. If it drop like the city, and then it can go flourish because it's how she's talking on it.
Yeah.
So it's like it's gonna.
And she's an example too. I love her progression over the years. Yeah. Like she's
from the same area, so it's like how
she sounds so good. She sounds so good the way she's like rapping now. She sounds so good. So I'm like, she's my one that I'm always like, let's go, Dream.
I feel like I like when I'm around artists and they get to hit it different, because then it's like, damn, not about a brag or pride ego about me doing it, but it's like, damn, if I didn't wake up that morning to make that beat, would this conversation happen? So it's just like, so now it's just like, yo, I'm that special. Like, a lot of artists that I work with have something of a, it never was I work with Diz and this.
It's a downer.
It's like now it's like, yo, he could get me out of here. Like, he could get me signed. He get me. He get me on the radio. He get me on the TV. It's like, dang, if I could do all of that, then it's like, I got to protect me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm an energy. I got to protect me. So now I'm like very.
So when's 2.0 dropping?
2.0, I'm not giving a date to it, but it's gonna drop around springtime. I'm gonna give it springtime. Springtime. So when we do the video for Big Deal, I'm gonna drop that. Big Deal with me and Melly. And that people are like, yo, even when that dropped, I seen the effect of that where they're like, yo, what's this?
Yeah.
So Drewski,
Yeah.
enough, all these, and I'm seeing them picking up, boom, boom. But what's amazing me where I'm seeing Dizzy Banko featuring Melly.
Yeah.
Sometimes it get awkward. People put, oh, Melly featuring Dizzy Banko, but I have her first.
Yeah.
Purposely, because it's like something with me and the female artists is like I have a whole bunch of them from the Young Devons to the. It's just like all the artists is just females. Like I met one down in West Coast the other day, like
wow,
South Central.
Have you cooked up with that group Girl Code yet?
Yes, like we need to get in a studio. Like I know we be sitting now, we talk, we see each other, boom. It's all love. It's just the right timing of locking in. I feel like this year is gonna happen, and how I'm gonna take that level of energy to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. I'm blown away. I'm so glad we got to talk because I didn't even know, like, you've done all of those records.
This is bare minimum what we talking about. So it goes deeper in.
Yeah.
That's why I say I could walk in these buildings and people are like, yeah, I remember. And I'm like, bro, I'll be in the studio 24 hours. I don't know when we.
You eat, sleep.
In the studio. So it's just like.
Always cooking.
Always cooking. But people was like, how do you find time doing that and then doing all of this?
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. I get it done.
You get it done. Yeah. You get it done. But we want you back. We got to get him back for 4 minutes of fire. Yeah, all right? We got to do that. We got to do that. Well, thank you so much, Dizzy. Yes, everybody. Dizzy Banko is in the building.
TT.
Thank you so much. Yes. It's Hot 97.